video, I'm going to be redrawing my sister's art from description only. My sister has done this before on her channel, and this video is actually a collab with her, so please go check out her video. So how this is going to work is that my sister typed out a description for me about things I need to know, like their gender, how old they are, the clothes they're wearing, how their hairstyle, basically all the information I need to know about the picture. So I'm going to read a bit of the description that my sister gave me. So she says the gender is female and she looks to be 14. She says that she also drew this picture in her chibi elf style. Since she said she drew this in her chibi elf style, I decided to try to draw in my chibi art style, but that wasn't really going the way I liked, so I tried this like more simplified version of my usual style. But in the end, I ended up just going with my normal art style just because it's easier and I wasn't really liking how it was looking. It's not that bad, but I prefer drawing my normal art style. It says for the pose, her head is in 3/4 view and is turned to the left and a little up. Her body is slightly turned towards the left, but not as much as the head. Her left arm is extended out and is bent at the elbow. See, I wasn't really sure how to go about posing the arm. I ended up having her elbow be pretty bent because I thought that would work the best for having her reach for it. Because she says she is reaching towards a floating pearl. She didn't say anything about how her hand is posed, so I didn't really know what to do. I just kind of picked something, I ended up going with this. And her right arm is just going down, and by her right hand there's another pearl floating next to it. And she wrote her tail is going downwards and curved to the right. She says for her clothes she isn't wearing any, but her scales extend all the way up her torso and make a soft heart shape around her chest. Around her wrist she is wearing bracelets made of small pearls. So I thought it was kind of cute how she had like small little pearl bracelets, because while I was sketching I was like, ooh, I hope she says somewhere that there's like bracelets or something. Now you may have noticed a difference in footage. I started trying to use this new recording software, which makes it so that you guys can see all my brush strokes and me changing like my layers, and like basically makes it so you can see everything. See, I draw on a pretty old computer. It's not like the oldest thing ever, but it's kind of old. So it doesn't have a recording software built into it. But my sister helped me to download one and it is free, luckily. It's called Active Presenter. Pretty sure that's what it's called. And I tried using it. It's pretty easy to use. I like that I can see when I'm recording because Clip Studio Paint has a built-in recording software and it kind of does its like time-lapse like Ibis Paint or like this. The line just kind of poofs into existence, which I'm not a big fan of. It makes it so that all my footage ends up being very, very fast and I can't slow it down at all. So doing this would give me more time to talk and not having to like rush through everything. And sometimes I would forget to click the record button in Clip Studio Paint because it doesn't show you anything while you're recording. But for this one, it puts like a border around your screen so I can tell when I'm recording. Okay, I'm gonna go back to talking about the drawing now instead of my recording software. Becca says for her hair, it ends right above her bum and it is kind of wavy and it's flowing in the water. It is parted on the left and her bangs do the swoopy up thing. So at first I forgot about the wave and I just drew it like flowing water doing the swoopy up thing, which I assume looks like this, but I forgot about the wavy texture. Personally, I don't like this hair as much. I feel like it looks stiff, but I also wasn't feeling like I was doing the best at drawing. Now that I look at it, it doesn't look that bad, but like the moment of drawing this, I was like very worried that I wasn't gonna look good enough. It could be that I know at the very end, my picture and my sister's picture will be compared. I don't know, stuff like that just makes me worried for some reason. I just don't like being compared to someone who's better. I don't care if it's like on her channel, I'm like, yeah, it's her channel, but like, I guess if it's just getting compared, I just get more nervous. So I try not to think about it too much. One thing that's hard about doing this is from description is that I don't know how much something is doing something. Like, I don't know how much the arm is bent. Like, she says that it's bent, but how much? She says her tail is curving, but how much? It's kind of confusing because I don't know how much to do something. One thing that really I kept debating about was how much to bend the arm and how much to turn the torso. Because my sister said that her head is in 3/4 view, and her torso is turned to the left but not as much as the head. So it was slightly confusing to know how much to turn it. But I feel like this might be turned enough. For all I know, she has it turned more. I feel like it's gonna be kind of similar, but I'm not 100% certain. Oh, and for her facial expression, she said she isn't really making much of a face. Just kind of blank, so this is the face I gave her. This is why I think of blank is. And she also says that she has a fin for an ear. This is how I stylized it. This is what I think of when I think of fins as ears. I always think of like this. I don't know how else you would do it. I end up going over everything with like this like almost line art, which I feel like wasn't completely necessary. Again, I was worried that this wasn't looking good, so I thought if I cleaned it all up, it would look better. I mean, I don't feel like it changed that much, but like maybe it helped. But I ended up blurring it at the end because when I was trying to do the line art on the hair, it ended up just getting really stiff. So I ended up just keeping my original sketch for the hair and just blurring the lines I did on the body, because it looked weird having like this super sharp line for the body and then like this super soft line for the hair, because I was using a very soft pencil while sketching. But I used a much harder one while doing the line art. For the colors in this picture, Becca said the entire picture contains teals and greens. The background is a mix of a light teal and green. I didn't color the background around the character, so her skin is the same as the background. This really confused me because she says the background is a mix of light teal and green, but I didn't color the background around the character. And later it also says that she has light green seaweed in the background, but the seaweed is large because she is tiny, very tiny. That's why the pearls are so big next to her hands, because she's like super tiny. I want to know how tiny those pearls are that are on her wrist. Like, imagine how teeny tiny they are. She also says that her hair is a light green with a bluey green shading underneath. Her scales are green at the top and get more teal as they go down. Her tail fins are completely teal and it's kind of a darker teal. She has pretty standard fins. So I drew what I consider to be like standard fins, because this is just how I draw my fins personally. But for this seaweed, I don't think I did it right in the background at all. Like, she probably does something completely different, but I couldn't think of any other way to do it. Another thing I did, I don't know if she has, is that I added on some shading with the light pencil, but it ended up just looking like I colored it in. But I was just adding in shading with the pencil. I don't know if she did this at all, but I added it in because it was feeling really flat and I feel like I needed it. I also don't know if she added in the scale texture or not, but I ended up adding them because she said scales, so I was like, yeah, scales all the way up. One thing I was very tempted to do was add blush, but she didn't say anything about blush, so I didn't want to add on like some bluey green blush if she said she didn't color the skin at all. But I'm pretty sure this picture is going to end up being pretty close. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to be close, hopefully. I feel like I like him more now that I haven't looked at it as much. It's funny because usually it's the opposite. Like, you like a drawing when you first make it, then you go look at it later, you're like, why did I like this? Let's move on to the next drawing. Okay, for this one, I knew immediately what character this was, because while I was reading it, my sister was standing there. I just started reading out loud. It's like, okay, they're a boy, age 18, but looks like a baby because he is small cheap. Okay, his hair is fluffy, he has wolf ears, and I was like, oh, this is your baby. Or more like I was like, oh, I'm gonna be drawing your baby. And she's like, oh, you got it. Anyway, so I started talking more about the drawing. So Becca wrote that their hair is fluffy. His hair part is in the middle. For his bangs, he has a long bit that goes in between his eyes, and the rest frames his eyes. So at first I thought he had like some really weird hair part. Like, I thought where it was just flowing from was like an actual complete hair part. He had like this like gap in between his bangs, so he had like 2 pieces that would like connect. So like I was really confused about that. Becca says for his facial expression, they have big and round eyes, but very flat around the bottom. She also says the facial expression he is making is a sad face. His mouth is wiggly, his eyebrows look sad. So I kind of had fun drawing this face, but the entire time I kept on being like, oh baby. One thing that was fun, since this character's a wolf, I got to draw wolf ears, but I haven't drawn wolf ears in a while. Because none of my characters have wolf ears anymore. I used to have a few that had wolf ears, but I no longer have to draw them with wolf ears because I got rid of them because I thought they were annoying because they felt very limiting. Because I couldn't make the hair go wherever I wanted. If I wanted them to go upside down, how are you going to draw that? Because the ears don't completely make sense. Becca says for his clothes, he is wearing a big baggy hoodie. His legs stick out of the bottom and he is wearing pants and very simple shoes. They have no details. So for figuring out how to draw the hoodie looking baggy, at first I was going to make it just be very wrinkly. But I ended up having his sleeves just be like really long and having the hoodie go lower than usual. So it looked more baggy. Well, Becca was sitting next to me while I was drawing this one, but she wasn't looking at my screen at all, so it will be her honest reaction at the end. But I don't know if this counts as cheating because one part for the description that she didn't tell me, because I was reading the colors, and it says for the colors, his hair and pants are gray, eyes are yellow, skin is light, hoodie and shoes are light blue. But she didn't tell me what color to sketch in. So I slightly cheated and asked my sister what color she sketched in because she didn't write that down in the description. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't black because I really didn't want to use black. So it was probably going to end up I use like a really dark like purpley pink color because I really like sketching that color. Becca also says that she didn't do much for shading. She just added some blush and round highlights on his hair and some shadow underneath his arms. I did end up adding a bit more shadows in other places. I don't know if that was wrong of me to do, but I did. And I was very happy when I heard that there was blush because I really like adding blush. And I was just looking at his face. I'm like, I want to add blush so badly. But then once I finished reading it, I saw that I could add blush. I was like, yes. So I ended up putting a whole bunch of blush. I kind of applied it like in after school babysitters. I don't know if any of you guys have watched that. Maybe some of you have. But like the babies are super cute in it and they all have a whole bunch of blush. And I just love it so much. Like I added so much blush that like it kind of looks like he should be from it with the amount of blush he has. I don't really know what to talk about right now, so I'll just talk about how my life has been recently. Recently was the 4th of July. I watched fireworks. Originally, we thought we weren't going to get to watch them because there was supposed to be a storm coming. But it ended up it didn't rain. So I got to watch them with my aunt and my cousins. And then some of my siblings. But it was fun watching them. The last ones were super duper bright. They were like so bright. You like couldn't like look at them. You were just being blinded. You're like, ah, my eyes. What else? I got to stay at my grandma's and grandpa's. I haven't seen them in a long time because last time I saw them I was like 7. And that was like 9 years ago. Gosh. Okay, I guess I saw my grandma sooner because she came while she was here for treatment at the hospital. But it's been 9 years since I saw my grandpa, so I stayed there for like 2 days. It was my first time ever sleeping somewhere that wasn't my own home. It was kind of difficult to sleep, but I think that's because the bed was really warm. There's a whole bunch of blankets and pillows, so it was very warm. But like in their backyard, they had like a pond and they had like this balcony and it had tons and tons of lily pads. They were so cute. I even saw a flower. I didn't take a picture of it, but now I wish I did. But it wasn't on a lily pad. It was just some random flower just floating there. It was interesting getting to see all the little like strings connecting them. I don't know what to call them, but they're all connected. It was really neat looking at them. And I think that's mostly it. Oh, and I'm gonna get to go to camp. So like towards the end of this month, I'm gonna be at camp, which is gonna be so fun. I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be my first time going to camp. But yeah, I had a lot of fun coloring him. He was super cute. And I had a lot of fun drawing him because after not having the best of time drawing the mermaid, I really enjoyed drawing a chibi. And he turned out very cute. I like him. He's not like the greatest picture ever, but I feel like it turned out pretty cute. He does feel a little bit stiff, but with the pose that he's doing, that's kind of expected because he kind of looks like sad and nervous in a way. So that's the finished picture. I hope you like it. And now I'm going to give my sister's reaction. Okay, so now I have Becca with me.
Hello.
And I'm going to be showing her the first picture I drew. Okay, 3, 2, 1, ta.
Oh, it's so cute.
I don't know if I did the giant seaweed correct.
It's pretty close, I think.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's pretty close.
Do you just have like a border around the character, or did you like...
You see, it's like I did a wash on my sketchbook that's kind of a rectangle,
Oh.
and then I drew the mermaid in it, but only her tail comes out of it, so...
See, I was very confused about that, because you said you didn't color in the character, but the background was colored.
Oh yeah, you see, I did a wash of teals and blues and stuff in the background. I guess I can show you. See?
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Right.
mine definitely aren't reaching towards it correctly. Yours is like gesturing to it, not quite grabbing it. And the right hand is basically doing the correct thing. But I was thinking you did like a gradient, just like you did a full-on gradient, not that it like was like the individual scales.
Yeah, I guess I didn't explain that in detail enough. And I didn't describe the one arm enough.
I had a hard time with the hair because I'm not good at drawing wavy hair.
It's flowing in a similar way though.
For a while I had it just be straight because I completely forgot about the wavy part. So I like YOLO'd it at the end. So it's like towards the end, like YOLO.
You're like, wait, it's supposed to be curly or like wavy.
Yeah, because it was written wavy. If it was curly, I probably would have emphasized it even more. Because like what you drew for wavy is what I considered like kind of curly.
Yeah, I should have said curly.
Okay, I'll find the other one. 3, 2, 1, ta.
Oh, my little baby. He looks like really, really sad.
I don't know how sad he looks for you, but like...
He looks fairly sad in mine, but he looks like uber duper sad.
So I felt like the entire time I was drawing, I was like, poor baby, what happened? Like drawing it, I feel like I loved the amount of blush I added.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It reminds me of Babysitters Club's babies.
Oh,
I don't know if I put his ears down too much, but like...
I really like how down his ears are. They're like super down. I didn't put them as down. So here's mine.
Oh, I see. Yeah, his is doing a more like stylized, like simplified facial expression. I just went straight to like that.
It's really cute though. Mine just looks kind of more like nervous, sad, I suppose. Where he's like,
yeah, I thought for like big baggy hoodie though that like I couldn't think of any way to have it be baggy, so I was like, you put it over his hands and then you go like this.
I do like it like that. It is really close though. Like their poses are similar,
but they don't feel like they're the same character though.
Yeah, they do look a little different
because I didn't look at any references while drawing him. So like I didn't pull up a picture of him at all.
I see. Yeah, I made his hair like really curly.
Your brown is a lot darker of a brown than I thought it was.
Yeah, when I make things brown, I tend to not use a very light brown, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess I tend to just use lighter colors for my sketches because I like how it looks.
Look at my little babies.
Look at the babies.
Ooh, he's so sad.
I like stylize my shoes like baby shoes.
Mine are just like little bricks.
Like yours are small bricks and mine look like those little baby slip-on shoes. See, again, with like what you consider to be like fluffy and stuff, like I would have looked at that and been like, yeah, that's curly for me.
See, this is fluffy for me.
Right now I'm like curly. But also like Logan Hairs does that, but like I consider his to be fluffy but not curly. I'm like, no, that's not the right texture. It is not curly, it is fluffy.
But I do feel like yours turned out much more similar than how on my channel mine turned out quite different, I feel.
Yeah, so if you want to see how those turned out, please go check out her video. Well, that's all for this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!
Bye!